Lesson 9, Surface Area of Triangular Prisms and Pyramids. So today we're once again going to be working with surface area, so finding the areas of all the faces of a three-dimensional shape and then adding them together to find the area altogether of all of those surfaces. And the biggest difference today is that some of your faces are going to be triangles. But you already should remember how to find the area of a triangle, so I'm hoping it won't be too challenging for you to do. You just have to remember that the formula is a little bit different for triangles. The formula for triangles can be written in two ways. You either do half times the base times the height, or you can do that the area equals base times height divided by 2. And remember, both of those formulas will get you the same answer, so you can choose which one you'd like to do. All right, so what I have for you here is a triangular prism. And one cool thing about triangular prisms is that you can always be sure that the two triangles are going to match each other. They are going to be equal. So once you have found the area of one of the triangles, you know that that's automatically the area of the other triangle. So for this triangle, because the base of the triangle is an odd number, I'm going to use the second formula. So I'm going to do base times height divided by 2. So I'm going to do 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 gets me a 6. So I know that the area of my triangular faces is 6 centimeters squared. So I can already fill that in on my net over here. All right. Now, because the triangular face of this triangular prism is equilateral, which means all three sides are the same, all three rectangular sides of this shape are also going to be the same. So what that means is all of them are going to be rectangles that are 3 by 10. So all you have to do is think to yourself, the formula for a rectangle for the area is base times height. You do 3 times 10. We know that each one of these is going to be 30 centimeters squared. And then all you have to do to find the final surface area is to add all of those faces up. All right. Now, not every triangular prism looks like that one. You'll notice here we have a different side length. So we have one different side length. We've got 7 centimeters, 7 centimeters, but then the bottom one is 4 centimeters. So what that means is our rectangles are not all going to be the same. One of the rectangles is not like the others. And the reason for that is that different side length down on the bottom. So the bottom triangle of this triangular prism is going to be a different area than the other two sides. So the other two sides, we've got a triangle that is 7, or a rectangle, I should say, rectangle that is 7 by 10, another one that is 7 by 10. So each of those is going to be 70 centimeters squared. But then, since the base or the bottom measurement of that triangle is 4 centimeters, we would do 4 times 10, which gives us a measurement of 40 centimeters squared. So really be paying attention to those triangles, thinking about those side lengths, draw it out in a net, or even if you want to draw it out just as separate shapes, rectangles off by themselves, and then 2 triangles, whatever works best for your mind. Go ahead and do that to keep track of which measurement is which, and to be able to pay attention to the fact that there might be some that are different. You may also have a triangular prism that looks like this one, where all 3 sides of your triangles are different, okay? So you would calculate the area of the triangles, remembering that both triangles are going to be the same. But then because all those side lengths are different, we actually end up with 3 different rectangle sides. So I know that this net is not really that accurate for this triangle. I couldn't find one that looked like an actual net from this triangular prism, so just pretend. All right, so what we end up having is we have a rectangle that is 4 by 11. We have a rectangle that is 3 by 11, and we have a rectangle that is 5 by 11. So each one of these rectangles has a different area measurement. So be really paying close attention so that you don't get caught up and just think automatically, oh, I'll just calculate one of the sides and then I'll multiply it by 3. It's not necessarily going to be that for every triangular prism. And then you may also come across pyramids. So you should remember from our last geometry unit what a pyramid is. It has a geometric shape as the base, and then all the rest of the sides are triangles. So the net looks something like this. So you simply calculate the area of the base, whatever that area is. So if it's a square, you use base times height, and then you calculate the area of the triangles, and then you add them up as well. Okay, now if your base is a square, all four of your sides are going to be the same. So for square pyramids, if you calculate the area of one of your triangles, you should be able to just multiply it by 4 to find the area of all 4 triangular sides. And then the last thing to be aware of is that you can also have triangular prisms, which means the base or bottom of the prism is a triangle. Okay, so here's where the base would be in this net. So you could calculate, I know this picture doesn't have any measurements on it, but you could use the measurements, your exercises will give you measurements to calculate the area. And then just one thing to be aware of is that if you have a triangular base, you will only have 3 sides. You will not have 4 sides. So really pay attention to what your shape looks like, any measurements or numbers that you are given. Like I said last time, slow and steady, write everything out really, really carefully, keep it neat and organized, and then you shouldn't run into any confusing problems. But if you do run into any problems, once again, I'm here to help you. Give me a call. I'm happy to take a look at what you have done and hopefully steer you in the right direction.